That's it. Let's do it. We're live.
Hey.
Good joke. It's a good joke. Hi, welcome everyone. And we got Swizz in the chat.
Swizz is back.
Swizz is already here. Swizz says, hey lads, the fight stream didn't get cut for a couple minutes, so we got to see some more of the afters of Christian going up to Jungle Boy's mom and gave him the finger. Top-notch stuff.
Love it.
Swizz, bless you. Staying up in the UK. I wonder what time it is. Let us know what time it is. But welcome to Loser Leaves Wrestling. That's what we should say first.
That's right. Welcome.
Welcome to Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the woos and whats of AEW Dynamite, and what a show!
Yeah, what a show! I don't like.
Yeah, what a show! What? But you mean like what show? Hey, you took it away.
I'm abandoning it. Dude, how do I look now? Is it okay?
Yeah, I look good. You look good. But thank you all so much for joining us. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with Hammer.
Hey,
Roy Hammer. How you feeling, Roy?
I'm good. I'm worried about light. I was trying to use this thing. It's too much. I look washed out. I don't know.
I don't think you look washed out. I'm looking at the feed and you look great.
No. Well, now I'm gonna look terrible. This is awful.
It's gonna be no, you still look good because it autocorrects. Right. It autocorrects the light a little bit. But we'll find a solution. I liked it. I like the light. But thank you all so much for joining us. We got Meadows Sumbro here. Let's go.
Let's go.
Smooth says it's 3 a.m., but anything for you boys. XX.
We've missed you, Smooth.
We've missed you. That's for you, Smooth. But we have to start talking about this dang show. We have to start talking about it. Man, what a roller coaster it was for me emotionally. I felt like they started to give me things that I wanted, and then they took them back and really were mean about it. Tony's in the chat. Boom! Okay, we start. This is Road Rager, Roy.
Road Rager. This is the 1-year anniversary of them performing in front of crowds again.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I love the special shows.
I do too.
I wish they changed up the music or the video package before.
I wish they changed up everything for these special shows. I'm not going to lie to you.
That would be great. That would actually,
They were 100%. Doing that in the beginning, and that's the thing that's frustrating. There's dog hair on my microphone. That was the thing it's a little frustrating to me, just a tiny, tiny bit. That if you watch early AEW pay-per-views and special shows, there were like different sets and things looked and kind of felt different. Everything kind of looks and feels the same now, which is a little disappointing for me.
It is a little bit. I agree. Joe's in the chat.
Joe's here.
And Joe writes, it's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. Lol. It's because he Swizz said 3 a.m. and that's a Matchbox 20s song. At 3 a.m. I must be lonely.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
No,
nice
this is a good reference. But out of context, it sounds like you're calling Swizz lonely. Not right. Because we love our Swizz.
Incorrect.
This is for Swizz. Take that to the bank. But we get the first match of the night is hair versus hair.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the things I was looking forward to most.
Do you feel like this match delivered?
No. So we had Jericho versus Ortiz. I thought it was a little bit. It was good. It was a good match.
Yeah.
It's just that Ortiz. There's something off about Ortiz. I can't really get it feels like he loses momentum when he starts doing something, and then he has these moments of brilliance.
Yeah.
He has these moments of absolute brilliance, and then he kind of like messes up by talking or something like that. we'll talk about it. I just think that let's just talk about the ending, right? Because there's really not much to talk about in it, right?
I thought it was a good match. Look, I thought it was a good match. I'm, continuously impressed by the fact that Jericho can still do a Jericho. I mean, like, there's a lot of wrestlers who wrestle at 50 and older. It happens. Yeah. It happens, fairly often.
But he's doing a good job.
Matches like Jericho's having. They're just not.
No.
Jericho is, and I was thinking about it, I was like, maybe Jericho is the beginning of the new 50-year-old athlete. Like, people from this current generation will still be able to wrestle the way Jericho wrestles in their 50s. But I don't even know if that's true. Jericho is truly an anomaly. He really is. The only other person who could do this if he wanted to, but he has chosen not to, is Lance Storm. Lance Storm could also wrestle like this in his 50s.
Yeah, he could, but he's having a little back problems. But other than that, like it's a good match. For some reason, Eddie is the only one that accompanied him.
Right? Isn't that a little strange?
And Santana wasn't there.
Yeah.
He comes out later to help out, but like there's this. Shenanigans are happening, and then Eddie does a spinning back fist to Jericho. They get a kick out, but then out of nowhere, Fuego del Sol comes out from the crowd. Fuego del Sol comes out from the crowd, nails Ortiz with a bat. And then it's Sammy Guevara. And Sammy Guevara is now a part of the Jericho Appreciation Society, along with Ty Conti.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But what I wrote immediately after is, poor Daniel Garcia.
Oh, maybe.
Yes, certainly.
No,
that's his spot. That is his spot.
I don't know if that's his spot.
It could have, like, that's like, he was the young apprentice. You know, like, there's the tag team, there's the Haas, and then there was Daniel Garcia was supposed to be the next step. And I like, he's literally been pushed back for someone that looked exactly like him.
They don't look exactly alike.
They look very similar.
I don't know about that. They're both short.
they're both the same essence of person. That same size, same weight, and same blank expression.
Here's the thing.
I like Danny better.
Well, I agree with you in theory, but if you think about it, if you backtrack and you really kind of pay attention, you see that Daniel Garcia is legitimate. Like, he is who he is, and like, what I mean by that is that he does have this blank expression, but it's like a blank expression of intensity. Sammy has a blank expression because he's fucking lost. He doesn't know how to perform in front of a camera. He knows how to wrestle, but I think this is great from a Sammy Guevara perspective, because they were like, fuck, we fucked up Sammy. We got to pump the brakes, backtrack, and put him back with Jericho, and then we'll build it out a second time.
And honestly,
beefed it.
This is a great idea for Jericho too, because it gets such heat for this stable. He is just like, it's pointed directly at them now. And he's the sports entertainer gone wrong. Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, and
Sammy Guevara is when you have too much sports entertainer in you, and you forget that you're a person with actual motives and trying to do things.
He's literally like, you said it. He's sports entertainment gone wrong. Like, he is someone who got too much coaching from the Performance Center, and he doesn't know how to do it. He just doesn't get it. It's perfect.
He's like the guy who does, like, acid's not bad, but when you do it too much, you get those acid flashbacks, and then every now and then you're just like, I'm in the mountains, like, just out of nowhere. That's Sammy Guevara just being like, I'm good, I'm evil, like, you're just losing it.
I also think this very quietly and very slowly lays the groundwork for a Daniel Garcia babyface turn, because now you've got the other sports entertainer, but this is months down the line.
They haven't even made him a real heel yet. You know,
of course they have.
Hold on. But like, they've done no work for Daniel Garcia.
That's fair.
They've done no work for him. They're like, how are they going to make him into this big babyface unless you make him into a heel or something first? You know, this was supposed to be his Sammy Guevara spot, and Sammy Guevara just took it back.
Well, I think Sammy versus Daniel Garcia is something that we could see down the line, and that being a feud in and of itself.
I guess. But afterwards, because we get that win there by Jericho, Ortiz, which I thought there's a good part about this and a bad part. He should have just like blank expression, started cutting his hair, just blank expression, and he gets a blade and just like starts with blood comes out, and then Eddie's just like, you got anything to say? Blood guts, and then the screaming, the crying. But because it was just so clunky, and it was a little clunky. That moment of him screaming with blood streaming down his face is awesome.
Yeah. I think this is kind of on Eddie too. Because I feel like
Eddie's an idiot.
Well, because I think Ortiz was like, I'm just going to stare and cut my hair. Like, I'm going to look intense. And Eddie's like, here's the mic. And Ortiz is like, my dude, I'm doing a thing here.
Just shut the fuck up. He kept trying to give him the mic. And if you just let him, that would have been such a more impactful thing if he just was blank expression doing that. That would have been nuts. We have some comments here. Metasumbro says, very entertaining show, but a bit too chaotic for my taste. And I agree. I agree.
I'm calling the show messy tonight. It was messy.
Yeah, it was definitely clunky. Tony says, what happened to Ortiz Tiger Style? Great question. You remember when he was doing Tiger Style?
Yeah.
That's another stroke of genius from him. I think that was great. Like,
I like
crazy
his like dead man splash that he does.
Oh, that was dope. Honestly, that was great, because also he just stayed there dead for the pin, which is kind of cool. Also doesn't make sense, but it's okay. Joe writes, did anyone think that Jericho would lose that hair? All wizards need long flowing locks. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But I was hoping he would. I was hoping for that change.
It makes sense. Like, logically, from a booking perspective, it makes sense for Ortiz to lose his hair to build up heat for this eventual match.
Yeah, it's true. But also, I think this is going to mean that Jericho's going to lose his hair soon. I think this is foreshadowing.
Interesting.
I think it's foreshadowing. Hear me out. Well, don't hear me out about it now. Whoa, the thing did the mic. We also have Joe says if they use Sammy with Jericho is a good fit, but yeah, Garcia. It's sad. Swizz, I just don't want to see Sammy anymore. Could have done with a couple of years break. Yes, I think that's
years.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. He gets it. Joe writes, Eddie is an idiot. Truer words never spoken.
Whoa.
He is hold on. I said he was an idiot, and I stand by the fact that he's an idiot.
He's just
because he's dumb, but
he's
like there's lovable. He's dumb like a doll. He's like a doll.
Only like I don't want to say only because he's good in his own way in every situation to me. But he's really at his best when no one else is around and it's just him. Yeah. It's difficult when he has to play off of other people.
I agree because he doesn't even follow his own rules.
Right.
That sounds badass, but it's also really hard to do TV.
Yeah,
it's hard to do it. Joe Wright, Eddie's an idiot. We already got that. Eddie is an idiot. We have to keep going, Roy.
Yeah, we sure do.
Because we're not done yet. We got a People's Court intro for Wardlow versus the 20 plaintiffs.
This was the best part of it.
That was the best part of it. When we get it, so I was confused.
Yeah, so was I.
So basically, so Wardlow versus 20 people, and they all stand up in the apron. Cool moment when they all stand up at the same time. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then he attacks one side. They all fall down. No, none of the others do anything.
Right.
But then someone gets on the loudspeakers just like 4, 5, and 6 have been eliminated.
Right. I heard that too, and I was like, "What is this? An over the top rope battle royal?"
And they didn't even get in yet.
Right.
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 And so it was just weird, but I think they stayed.
Yeah, right? They ended up staying. We just needed to disregard Dasha's announcement.
That was a mistake. That was a bad mistake.
Yeah.
But then Wardlow does chokes one out with an arm and then steps on him for the pin, and then a bunch of power bombs that get increasingly scary.
Really dangerous.
Because he's tired and he has to do them fast. And
I also don't think he understood, he was rushing, so he wasn't when I pick this person up, I'm going to figure out what they weigh. But I think he was anticipating that some of them weighed more than what they actually weighed because he was flowing them and they were going over his head and he was trying to hold on.
That one guy was stuck on his back like a fly. Yeah. It was nuts. And the thing is, this would have been such a cool moment if this isn't something you just wing.
Right.
And that's what it felt like. This is something that should be very carefully thought out so you could get the best. This is sports entertainment. This is the most sports entertainment part of the show. And to do sports entertainment, you have to have a run through.
Yeah. Well, you have to have a run through, and you have to not overcomplicate things. And I think 20 people versus one guy is just too much. It's too long. You can do a 4-on-1. And the other thing too is that it's one thing to suspend your disbelief that a security guard who's on the outside of the ring would roll into the ring and be like, I'm about to go get my ass kicked. Actively get into the ring. But 20 guys rolling out of the ring, then rolling back in the ring and going after this guy. After a while, you're it feels why are you run away? Just run away.
Yeah,
it just doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't make sense, and nothing seems. It's just one of those things that just took away the curtain, for a little bit. Just felt tired. Mose left a message on the old hotline. Call hotline 201-574-7222. Mose called and thought that maybe it was going to be Cesaro appearing during this thing. And while I didn't think necessarily that, I thought this is how I would have booked this thing. I would have had the 20 guys, just like they did, all stand up on the apron. All of them get in the ring. And then all of a sudden they all dogpile, right? They all dogpile, beating the shit out of him. And they get some offense and he starts to fight back, but then gets overmanned again. But then he somehow gets one over, just knocks them all out of the ring, doesn't get the pin. But then out comes one last security person that Marshall's wait, we forgot one. And it's some very large wrestler that they want to bring into the company. Good way to. It's Satnam Singh. That's how they should have brought in Satnam Singh. You have him come in as a security guard and then just destroy him. And then you have a little program there where maybe not Satnam.
But that's the thing. You're right. You're 100% right. Because also so Mark Sterling's just decided to sue him, but who's paying Mark Sterling? There's just like, is he feuding with Mark Sterling? Like, what's happening? It just like is very short-sighted. I don't think it's very good booking. The build isn't very strong. If you were gonna get to the TNT title, just go to the fucking TNT title. Who cares about these security guards?
Well, he's being a personal injury attorney in this case, and you don't have to pay a retainer for a personal injury attorney, Roy. They get paid off of the settlement. So if you have a personal injury, for the most part, there's some that.
Well, there's no settlement because instead of going to court, they chose to fight him 20-on-1. Yeah.
Did you hear the announcement? Case closed. That's the judicial verdict. That was the end of it. And also the pins pissed me off so much, Roy. Their shoulders weren't on the mat.
Right.
They were pinning their friends. He put them on stomach over them, so they're all pinning, but there's no shoulders. You can't pin that many people. Jim Cornette is gonna have a field day with that one. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm gonna be really excited to listen to that.
But after that, get out of here. Well, after that, what's his face? Mark Sterling grabs the mic. But then Wardlow grabs Mark Sterling. Then Dan Lambert. Yeah. Dan Lambert's here. And he starts talking on. Apparently Matt Hughes and Tyrone Woodley are in the audience.
Sure.
Not like, so just a little history lesson here, Roy. Matt Hughes is a very famous UFC fighter that's pretty retired. And he's like an older guy.
Yeah, he's like 50. I looked him up afterwards. And I think he had some kind of accident or something.
Oh, I think you're right.
Because he was not moving super well, so I don't know.
You're right.
Why?
He had some sort of like
to happen.
Yeah, and then Tyron Woodley is a disgraced MMA fighter. I'm disgracing him. He threw the fight with Jake Paul, was it?
I thought Matt Hughes fought Jake Logan Paul, or is it
Matt
Tyrone
Hughes
Woodley?
Is the one that has the.
Yeah. Okay. Thing. I don't know.
Please let us know if we're right. Smash the like button instead. How about do that? Don't leave. This is a fun bit that you have now, Roy. I have the soundboard. You have the ring light. We have some comments here. Joe writes, Jericho is losing his hair to Father Time. Worst heel ever. It's true. Father Time. Time is an illusion, and we're paying attention to it. Thus, we are affected by it. If we ignore time, it ceases to hurt us. Smooth says, I don't know your opinions on Wardlow, but I think this thing now. MJF is gone and wait, hold on. But I think his thing now, MJF is gone and it's kind of boring. Then Smooth says, don't want to see him with the title. Smooth says he doesn't want to see him with the title. And Smooth says he got hit by a train, I think.
Yeah, I just read that. Matt Hughes got hit by a train several years ago. His truck got hit by a train.
He looks good.
That he got hit by a train is
that's rough. But he looks good.
He does. For someone who got hit by a train, yeah.
Yeah, Moet writes, Hughes got hit by a train last year, was in a coma for 19 days. Fuck.
Holy.
Brooklyn Bleak is here.
Bleak.
And Moet's here.
Moet's here.
Uncle Moet's here.
Uncle Moet. Yeah, that one? That's what you're going with?
I like turtles.
Oh, I just hitting them all. Moet's going to join us afterward for an episode of LLW Compulsion. I'm saying it right now.
I love it. I can't wait.
He's joining us for an episode of LLW Compulsion. On the Twitch. You better check us out.
Well.
What's that?
Nothing. Let's just keep going.
We got to keep moving on. But this weird, awkward conversation with Dan Lambert. Wardlow gets on and he calls Dan Lambert a rich asshole. But these guys are like Midwest guys like him, and we're cut from the same cloth, Roy. We're cut from the same cloth. And then they push Smart Mark right into him, and he gets powerbombed. And thank God Mark Sterling has some ups because he would have been spiked. But then Wardlow tries to raise their hands. They try to raise his hand. That's the end of that.
It was a challenge.
It was a challenge.
It was a challenging segment.
It was a very challenging segment. Brooklyn Bleaks. Oh, I didn't even say anything what Brooklyn Bleaks said. That explains why he was walking like that. And Tyron Woodley. Wait, Woodley got fake knocked out. That's what I think.
It's real.
What?
I have no idea. You guys were talking about this.
Do you agree with me or do you agree with Brooklyn Bleak?
I don't know what y'all are talking about.
You got to pick one, Roy. You got to pick one.
I'm going to go with Bleak. I'm going to go with Brooklyn Bleak here.
Well, actually, Bleak never gave an opinion here. I think he's just.
It's you or Uncle Moet. And I'm going to say that it was a legitimate fight, even though I don't even know who is he fighting?
What? Jake Paul.
Okay.
We have to stop talking about this. Yeah. Menasombro writes, thumbs up, boys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brooklyn Bleak says the Wardlow stuff belonged on Dark.
Yeah, it's too much. It's just too much. It's just
this could have been different.
You can build him up in a different way. Although they're really going Goldberg. They're going 1,000% in the Goldberg direction.
They could have done it differently. They could have done it more fun. Yeah. He could have been a badass. Now he's just like, he's not a badass.
He still can be, but it's overproduced.
Get rid of that fucking singlet. Yeah, have him in a pair of fucking jeans. And Timberlands. Like, he just came from the bar and he's freaking...
So he looks like Big Cass.
Yeah, and keep the hair, but get rid of the ponytail. I'd fix him. We have to keep moving on, Roy. Dax versus Willow Spray.
Yeah, I enjoyed this
match of the night. Match of the night. Hard hitting. Dax has vicious chops.
Yeah, he does.
Vicious chops. Back and forth throughout. Beautiful running back elbow. And that's that's all I wrote because there's just so much. It was real hard hitting. Not much to say about it besides you should watch it.
I really thought the way they worked together, I thought was really fantastic because, what's kind of top of mind is that there was this like very subtle controversy going around last week about the Thunder Rosa Marina Shafir match. Have you seen this? You heard about this?
Oh, no, tell me.
Thunder Rosa was sandbagging Marina Shafir. She wasn't going up for the suplex. Like, if you go back and you watch it, like, Shafir's working overtime to get her up and to get her going. Because I think Thunder Rosa was sandbagging her. I don't know. This is all secondhand. Like, I don't even know, but there's some subtle, like, kind of shit talking.
Because it made her look like shit.
It made everybody look like shit.
Yeah.
But I think this is a perfect example of two guys who are fighting. The whole time I've been trying to think of the right word for this. They're not sandbagging each other, but there's some intentional kind of friction between the two. Like, they're actually pretending.
I believe
to fight against one another. Like the slingshot power bomb spot that they were doing. Like, you could tell that Dax was really working to get him up because obviously Ospreay was trying to stop him from doing it. Like, it felt real. It had like a lot of realness to it.
And also, it's just like FTR. They're Carolina boys, but they were trained and kind of ran NXT.
Yeah, sure.
They're WWE guys, and back then when there was like, FTR, fuck the revival, that whole thing with the Young Bucks. Willow Spray was also part of that mix when he was like chiming in on Twitter and everything like that. There's history there.
Sure. Yeah. I didn't know really. I don't know too much about it, but yeah.
Honestly, I'm not sure if I've even made that up or not, but it feels also, right.
Spending as much time as they have with Regal and training with Regal, I think also just really helps all of that too.
Yeah, but it was a great match. Just great stuff.
It was a great match. They're both great.
Afterwards, we get they both are. Dax really needs to get his day in the sun. I think a singles run for him would be really great. I like this look. I like this.
David Byrne.
Oh yeah. I see it. I don't know what I'm doing. My house is on fire. What does he say? What does he sing? Fire in the house.
All right, let's just keep going.
Fire in the house.
Burning down the house.
Burning down the house. I was thinking of the B-52s anyway. We have to. What are we doing? Smiz, Joe writes, Wardlow needed a feud after MJF. Now it just looks like MJF carried him here. Starting, it could if they. Last week wasn't bad. No, I think this is a bad hiccup, but I don't think he's lost, right?
It's just too messy. It's too overproduced. Yeah, but he needs to go out and have a banger with Scorpio Sky next. That's what needs to happen. But they also need to buy some time until Scorpio's leg is back up and running.
Smooth writes, new music for Wardlow also. Get Jim Johnston on it.
Yeah, seriously.
Did you hear about that, Jim Johnson?
He's like looking for people or something?
He's just like, somebody...
It's a good business model.
Yeah, he's just like, somebody tweet me a wrestler that I could... make music for, and so everyone's saying Wardlow. Smooth says Ospreay's finish looks really good. Hopefully he kills Orange Cassidy. Let's talk about that next. We got Orange Cassidy. What?
They're gonna have a good match.
Let's see. So basically, the United Empire come down to beat down. Trent and Cash come in to try and help. Then Orange Cassidy returns. And I am glad to see Orange Cassidy. Yeah, I liked Orange Cassidy, and I'm absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yep.
I'm enjoying seeing him back, and because he was getting stale.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting pretty stale. Then Ospreay and OC have a little stare down in the ring. And then all of a sudden, all the best friends come up behind him. FTR is now a part of the best friends.
Except Chuck. Wait,
except for Chuck. Did you see the Stokely Hathaway tweet?
Yeah, I put it in the Discord.
Oh, yeah, you're the one who put it in the Discord, yeah. Which you could join on Patreon. Very good, Roy. So you're excited for that? Are you excited for
Yeah. They announced Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy for the United States title, and that I am excited for. I think that's going to be a good match.
At Forbidden Door?
At Forbidden Door, yeah.
All right. That's weird to me.
You don't like that? Why?
I don't like that being a title match.
He's the U.S. champion. He's the New Japan U.S. champion.
Yeah.
Ospreay.
What has Orange Cassidy done?
It's not like, New Japan, it's different. It's a crossover. It's a spectacle show. So, what's anybody done for anything?
I don't like this, Ray. I don't like this. It makes me feel all weird. We have some
probably
comments.
Going to announce United Empire, Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb versus FTR versus Roppongi Vice for the IWGP tag team titles.
Well, we'll find out. We'll see. Moses in the chat. Moses reclamation for OC. We were talking about you before, Mose. Yeah, how you had the idea for Cesaro debut, but I'm very thankful that didn't happen. He was in a staff t-shirt. Malcolm Bleak says, did AEW think that any kids would have recognized the People's Court reference during the Wardlow segment? Lol. No, I don't think any of them would have noticed, but it's fun for us, and that's what matters, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of their audience is around our age, and we all watched Judge Judy growing up.
I recognize the jingle. Mose writes, Red, can we fill in the center of the stash? Thanks for bringing it up. Jeez.
Damn, that's rough.
Mose, you're gonna get one of these.
Is rough.
You're gonna get. I didn't hear anything. Brooklyn Bleak says, so does this mean Chuck Taylor got cut? Yeah, Chuck got cut.
I guess so.
Chuck's cut. Mose writes, Red, what hasn't OC done? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Bye, Mose. Being hateful, saying hateful things about my mustache. Not condoned. Joe writes, Orange Cassidy, there shouldn't be any title matches at Forbidden Door. Neither side is justified in getting those title shots. Ranking systems span promotions now. But what is the ranking system? I'm confused, Joe. I'm confused by what you're saying.
Out of here, Joe.
We're being hostile to
But there's people, we're just shitting on everybody.
We're just shut up, fart, fart, fart.
No, I think everybody can do, they can earn the shot in their own respective promotions, with the exception of Orange Cassidy, who's done nothing to anything.
Orange Cassidy, that's nothing.
But that being said, the U.S. title's like the TNT title. People, what did Warhorse do to, have that match against Cody?
Very strong hashtag. Very strong hashtag.
Yeah, probably.
It was Wardlow. Warhorse. What's his name?
Warhorse.
Is it Warhorse?
Yeah.
Wow, I completely forgot. But yeah, Warhorse fears Cody. Or Cody fears Warhorse. That's what it was. Right. You have to move on, Roy.
Yeah, we're talking about Warhorse.
Roy, you gotta let it go. Let me steer this back on course. Tanahashi and Mox promo in the back, just talking about the feud. They've known each other for a while. Wasn't in the back,
it was in the middle of the ring.
No, but they had the promo video in the back.
The video.
So I wrote that down first. Roy.
I'm sorry, you said it was in the back.
My mustache, I
never said anything about your mustache. I never even noticed.
You are. Moxley comes out, and so does Hiroshi Tanahashi. And then Tanahashi needs to dye his roots.
Whoa.
I'm not trying to be mean. It's just get a fresh cut before you come out.
Come on, you gotta,
get
a fresh cut before you come out.
I would cut it if there was anything there, Roy. I would.
Come on, that's Tanahashi. That's a legend right there. He can do whatever he wants.
I'm just saying.
I would also wear some knee braces and get some better fitting pants, but it is what it is.
Who?
He's Tanahashi.
He has bad knee braces?
I mean, he wasn't moving great when he did that sling blade.
Sling blade? Oh, sure. He wasn't. Was he not moving well? It didn't seem like he was moving awkwardly.
It didn't seem like he was moving. It just seemed like
he's wearing
Shawn
street
Michaels
clothes.
Knees.
He's wearing street clothes.
He has Shawn Michaels' knees.
Does he? Yeah. Oh, he has the wonky legs. Okay. Yeah. Joe writes, are the ranking systems are supposed to dictate title shots? That's what I mean. NJPW didn't earn AEW title shots versus the vice versa. I think you're trying to say.
I just don't think NJPW has ranking systems. And is anybody fighting for an AEW championship other than Tanahashi?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. But either way, I'm not feeling good about this Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
We'll talk about it.
Seems pretty snake bit.
It doesn't seem snake bit to me. It just seems really, it's just messy. Like setting up all of these matches and doing all of this, like it's just kind of messy. And I got to tell you, well, we'll get to a couple of things, but keep going.
I think it should have been a joint pay-per-view where they both had their own matches on it. This interpromotional stuff is clunky. It's hard to promote. And have one crossover match, one main crossover match. If there's a few, it just kind of dilutes the whole idea.
The whole show is that. Well, I mean, the thing is, you gotta deliver now, right? Like, you can't just give me all the predictable winners. Like, Will Ospreay's obviously going to beat Orange Cassidy, and Moxley's obviously going to beat Tanahashi, and Jay White's going to beat whoever Jay White faces. You got to give me a surprise here or there. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to give me FTR's got to beat whatever for the IWGP tag titles. Like, that has to happen. You got to give me a surprise. Otherwise, what am I watching? Who cares?
Yeah, it's true. And like, I agree, because there is no surprise with this, besides the fact that everyone's getting injured. But we get this Moxley promo. Just the people that have gotten injured. Scorpio Sky, CM Punk.
It's not that surprising.
But Moxley says a lot of things. He's like the man that the one man they call Ace. Not true. Johnny Ace. That's his name.
We can't talk about Johnny Ace. He's canceled.
He's canceled, but not for long. He's like, we're not going to call you Ace for long. You're going to be calling me Ace when I'm done with you. He's been chasing for a long time. He's the best, and it's all on the line for him. Then Tanahashi grabs the mic, and then the Jericho Appreciation Society comes out. Can't say a word. Jericho comes out with Sammy and Ty. I don't know why.
Because I don't know why they're in the group now.
I know, but it should have just been Jericho. I don't know. It just felt weird.
Of this. All this other stuff. This is an example of messy, cramming.
Very messy.
Very
messy.
Too much.
Jericho talks shit, which he does a good job. I think he does a good job. Then Tanahashi says, "Shut up," and that was pretty good.
It was great.
It was pretty good. Was great. If you're gonna say one thing in English, let it be that.
I like that he said Jericho.
Shut up. Yeah. Jericho. The Jericho Appreciation Society, Lance Archer, Desperado, all attack.
Yeah.
The two, and then I wrote
messy.
Very messy. Then I wrote poor Danny Garcia again, because he's literally just standing in the background as Sammy makes out with Ty, and he's standing in front. It's Jericho and Sammy and Ty holding hands up front, and then the rest of them in the back, just like, sorry, Danny.
Yeah.
But Jericho talks about how he's doing Forbidden Door. Kingston runs in for a fight. And then Yuta and Santana are there too. The clear ring.
I also don't like that you're bringing Ortiz back with a shaved head. You got to make that a bigger deal. Yeah, he was there.
I didn't even see him there.
He was bald, clean shaven, down to the skin.
Yeah, let it be a thing next week. Yeah. Let us have a moment.
Right. Let him have a towel over.
He's just been embarrassed.
Yeah.
He's just been embarrassed, man. Come on, let's play it up. But after that, we get a Darby. We haven't seen him in a while, Roy.
It's true.
Feels like Darby's dead.
We saw him last week, but that's okay.
Oof.
He was in that Battle Royal.
Yeah, exactly.
He was one of the last people in the Battle Royal from beginning to end.
Did we see Darby here? I don't know. Then we get Darby talking about Sting's leg, and he's going to have a fight with Fish, and he's going to do the same thing to Bobby Fish. So Kyle O'Reilly knows the pain. And Bobby Fish rips him apart. I love Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish is really growing on me. He talks like a Steiner.
Yeah.
He's just like, you think you're so good, you do stupid makeup? And just ripping into him. Put your stupid makeup on. It's pretty good. Tony Storm is up next. And she drops some fucking fire.
Yeah, really good. Quite good.
Tony Storm, she says she's dropped out of school, but she's smart. She doesn't, she knows more than her. She said she will take the division to where it should be, which was great. And then just shifted over talking about Thunder Rosa. Next, we get Ethan Page versus Miro.
Yeah.
What did you think of this match?
Thought it was too long.
Yeah.
Thought it was way too long. Look, I like Ethan Page. I think he's a good wrestler. I think he's a good talker, a good personality. I'm happy when he's on my television, but he should have gotten crushed by Miro.
He should have gotten crushed. This is his first. This is Ethan Page's first. No, he's had some bigger matches before.
Some big singles matches, but not in a while.
But like Miro is coming back, just came back, and you want to build him. He's getting over for being this redeemer and this character. Him coming to the ring was over. And then as soon as he started selling for Ethan Page kind of doing lazy offense. He should have been all over him if you're going to get the upper hand, but he was giving lazy offense, walking him to the corner. Miro should never be walked to the corner by anyone. I don't know. I just felt it was awkward, too long, and Miro should not act like a babyface.
He kind of is a babyface, though.
Be a babyface, but stop acting like a babyface. You're getting over because you're hard hitting and God is your audience. But react to him, that's the person you should be dealing with. The fact that he's like looking at the crowd and trying to get them hyped up, it's just like, man,
I think this
takes away the appeal.
I think this match killed the crowd a little bit.
Really did. Really did. And they both get blamed.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
They both get blamed.
Absolutely. And so does Dan Lambert. Give him blame too.
Yeah, Dan Lambert's really pissing me off too. What else we got here? Mose writes, this Mox promo was a mess. I didn't mind the Mox promo, did you?
The whole segment was too much.
Yeah, the whole segment was an absolute
The Mox
mess.
Tanahashi stuff, when Jericho came out, I was like, all right, sick. So maybe Jericho's going to be in this match and it'll be a triple threat. I think that's a little too much, but that's fine. And then when everybody else came out and then Desperado and Lance Archer got involved and they started brawling, and then it just ended up being like, you're supposed to hype up the main event match of this show. Tanahashi, literally, I'm sorry that we're going back to this, but here I am.
No, we got it.
Tanahashi is literally, and this is not an exaggeration, Tanahashi is the John Cena of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's been around forever. He saved the company. The company was going nowhere when he started, and he alone, along with some other people, but like his popularity elevated New Japan to all new heights. And he's done movies in Japan, and he's like a big deal. And that he's fighting for your top championship against Moxley, who at the end of the day, Jon Moxley, despite Punk, despite Kenny, despite Jericho, despite everybody, is in so many ways like the heart and soul of your company. Like his debut at the end of your first ever show lit your company on fire, and he carried your company and carried the championship through the entire pandemic. This is a huge match, these two people. And then when Jericho comes out, it's like, here's the first ever AEW champion. He's going to get involved and talk about this, and he's going to get involved in the match. And
he's the tie to both guys.
Yeah. His last match in Japan was him beating Tanahashi right before the pandemic. So here we go. This is going to be great. And then he gets involved, and all of his goons get involved just to announce a weird 6-man tag match, just completely overshadowing the fact that you're setting up this showdown between these two. I don't care if the segment ends with the two of them. Fine, but like all that mess and noise in the middle just takes away from everything, and that's probably why.
Tony Khan's losing his goddamn mind. He's losing his goddamn mind. He needs to share some of this. He's losing.
And there's some real lazy booking happening right now. And we'll talk about some of this lazy booking that's going on. But
boy, you sound like you're talking directly from the Jim Cornette podcast. No, he's just there's a lot of lazy booking going around here.
Does he say that?
Lazy booking. Yeah. He says
we'll talk. I would say uninspired, but there's another. This is probably, now that he said that.
Just to distance myself.
Yeah. There's also this is why you don't do interpromotional shows, because it's a mess to book. And then you also, did you hear, I think it was during the Osprey match, Excalibur talked a million miles a minute, and he was like, he's the IWGP United States champion. You may say that New Japan is the promotion, but IWGP is the governing body, the International Wrestling Grand Prix. And he kept saying, he's like, if you're a new fan, you got to understand this. And he's trying to explain all these things about people who for people who don't know New Japan. He's trying to explain it to them, but he's talking a million miles a minute. I want video packages. Explain these things to me. Even if they're on YouTube, at least they're somewhere. Honestly, I need a pre-show where the pre-show isn't building up the matches. It's just explaining who these people are that my favorite wrestlers are fighting and why it's important. You got to tell me.
Because honestly, this will do well on pay-per-view, but I don't think it's going to do great numbers in the US. I just don't think so. But
the build isn't strong, and then they really fucked up. Well, I'm saving my really fucked up line until we get to the segment, but keep going.
But by the way, Miro beats Ethan Page.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, I mean, we knew that was gonna happen. Right?
We knew that was gonna happen, but it should have happened in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be Miro, Pac, Malachi, and Ishii in that 4-way, which is a lot of fun. It's
a lot of fun. It's fun, but honestly, I prefer a 3-way than a 4-way dance.
We never see 4-ways though. We never see them.
I know, because they're so awkward.
We'll find out.
They're so awkward, and just like it's kind of like the bad parts of a battle royale where two sets of people are doing something, and you can't really focus or watch one, so it's so hard to tell a story, you know. So they have to do the bow out where they just hang outside the ring for long periods of time.
It would be a lot of fun, honestly, to see Pac versus Malachi and Ishii versus Miro at the show, and then the winner of each of those matches goes on to fight in the finals 100%. In a one-on-one. That's actually way better. That's
so much better. That's a tournament.
Like literally what a tournament.
Because we haven't had a tournament. We had qualifiers to get into one match. Right. There's so many comments here. I can't get through them. Yes, I can't get there. Kenny is the one who can save us from Jay. That's what Mose writes. Joe writes, yes, Red, great idea on a better concept for the crossover. The main event is putting each promotion's over against the other. Each promotion could have had tournaments leading up to decide. I think that's great.
Sure. Yeah.
That should have been it. Just have one. Joe writes, it's about bragging rights and company honor, not titles.
Ooh, Joe.
That's some sauce.
Got to give credit where credit's due on that one.
Because these shouldn't be title matches. They really shouldn't. Mose writes, does MJF get pushed into this mess, turn face, or wreck the night? MJF, I don't think is going to be a part of this.
He's going to skip over this for sure.
Yeah, he's going to skip right over. Because honestly, I think it's smart for them to wait afterwards, because he has nothing to do with New Japan.
Right.
He has absolutely, and he doesn't like it. Like the only thing he could do is fuck it up by talking shit about them on my, you know. So like, let's keep him off TV.
Yeah.
For a little bit, and I think as soon as it's over, like the next day, or even
probably night. I think it should be the night. It shouldn't be the Wednesday after, because that's Blood and Guts. It should be the one after that.
Yeah. Okay, that's smart. I think that's good.
We'll be in Kansas City.
We're going to be in Kansas City. We're going to do On the Road. You'll see.
You'll see.
Mose writes, down to skin like Red's Philtrum. Is that a thing? Is that what that's called?
What are you talking about?
He's down to skin like Red's Philtrum. Philtrum? It sounds like you're threatening me. I was assuming. Why do you want to skin my Philtrum?
I think you were talking about down to the skin when I mentioned Ortiz appearing with no hair.
But what's a Philtrum? I think that's that part. Brooklyn Bleak says Sammy and Conte are Heat Magnets own. Is everyone spelling weird, or am I just going cross-eyed? For better or worse. Mose writes, Storm needed this win. Yes, Storm needed this win. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah.
Joe writes, Miro's a force of nature. Book him that way, 100%. Mox is the heart of AEW. Great point, Roy. That's what Joe says. See, there's you two getting along.
Thank you, Joe. Finally, we agree on something.
Brooklyn Bleak says, yeah, I was hoping that they would have aired Jay White's promos from Dominion after he won the title.
Yeah.
Thank God they didn't.
They were good. They were really good.
I don't like him.
The after pay-per-view, like Japan promos are excellent, because especially the ones in English, because you can say whatever you want. No one knows what you're saying.
It's like someone took Pac and Adam Cole, put it in a blender, and added a lot of vanilla. And there comes Jay White. Thank you. Bleak says, also heard that Forbidden Door might be an annual thing. Let's hope they get it right next time.
Yeah, right. The first show is always bumpy. Yeah. Also, if this is going to be an annual thing, the first show is always going to be bumpy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Next up, we have by the way, Miro won with the game over. Seidel and Dante Martin. Matt Seidel. Dante's going to be facing Mox. And
which is funny. Because remember when they were in that 10-man, it was like a 6-man or a 10-man, and it was like Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, and then Dante was in there, and Dante took the pin. This is Dante's revenge.
This is revenge. But he's like, Dante, he has a lot of potential, but he doesn't want you to say it. He hates that. I don't got a lot of potential. I'm gonna do, and because want to lie? He's inhumane. What does that mean? Inhuman?
He said he's inhuman.
Inhuman. Oh, not
he's
inhuman.
Not human.
I'm cruel to animals. That's a gimmick. That's a heel. Yeah. Oh, I'll fuck up a cat. I'll fuck one up. Then we got Joe writing, please no to Forbidden Door being annual. Does Khan want nothing to be special? Joe writes, Roy, I think we agree on a lot, just not Kingston. You could also love Danhausen more.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
you get there. Mose writes, "Why do we care about Dante and Mox? We don't yet, but I'm happy for Dante. I guess.
Yeah, Dante's got to get on something, do something.
Let's talk about this Brit versus Toni Storm match.
This feels really significant.
Yeah.
How many clean pins has Brit really taken?
Yeah, not only so there's a lot in this match that we have to discuss. First thing, Toni Storm comes out fire. Not laughing, not smiling. No. It's a serious thing. She's just like, I love it that she's not doing that because that's very easy to do. Ruby Soho. As soon as she comes out, Blood Future's just like, yeah. You know, she's just like, fuck it. No, I'm here to fight today. And she comes out very serious, hard hits in this match. I would have had this be my favorite match of the night if it hadn't been for the ending. So the brawl to start. Toni lays in everything. Hayter yanks her out of the ring, Roy. Mm-hmm. And then Rosa comes and chases Hayter away, which is fine. Toni Storm does these double spinning DDTs. You saw that? She did one off the ropes, and then she rolled out of the ring, did one on the thing. But then Brit gets in the ring, no sells it, just gets right up.
Did
not like that. But then we get a vicious hip attack. Mm-hmm. Did you see that hip attack?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was nuts. And I thought
her hip attacks are no fucking joke.
But I think that one had a little extra sauce on it because I really think Brit needed a moment. I really think that she hit her hard. They played it up like, oh, it's just playing possum. I think for a few seconds there, they were like, she's just like, I'm fine. I just need a second because she wasn't being able to lift her up. She was like, she looked stiff. It was very uncomfortable.
Spicy.
Very spicy. Plays possum for the roll, but then we get a pile driver for the win.
Dude, and that pile driver is so awesome. It's so good.
Toni Storm is really got her win. She's in again. And she's got she's everything. She's everything we want in a babyface champion.
Yeah. Yeah.
We haven't had that here.
I don't know if it's AEW or it's the people, but like there have been multiple champions. Thunder Rosa is not the only one, but there have been multiple champions where as soon as they become champion, I'm not interested in this anymore. Thunder Rosa, she got outplayed. I don't know. Toni Storm is like Toni Storm, Athena, Jade, Statlander, like all of these people to me are above her right now.
I think it's because Toni has a lot of loyalty. And he's just like, oh, I said I'm going to do this thing for you, so I'm going to do it. And even though there's other people on the card that should be in that spot because it makes more sense, he's just like, oh, but I promised Thunder.
Yeah, but the issue with that is like, that's fine.
That's how Jungle Boy
Thunder Rosa is ultimately like super over. Like the live crowds love her. I've seen it happen. They love her. But like the problem is, and I don't blame Thunder Rosa for this necessarily, Tony Khan's like, you're going to be champion. I'm going to make you champion. I'm going to make you champion in your hometown on your birthday in a cage match. It's going to be a huge moment, and it's going to be iconic. We'll never forget it. It's going to be great. And Thunder Rosa's like, yeah, I love that. So they do it, and then Thunder Rosa wins the title. They all hug. It's a great celebration. The next week, Thunder Rosa walks into the arena, goes up to Tony Khan, and she's like, I'm champ now. What's next? And he's like, I don't know.
I'm actually doing something with other people right now.
Yeah, but you have your time. You got 3 minutes with Tony Schiavone on the stage tonight. Talk about
she's like, I hate talking.
Yeah, right. So it's kind of like his fault in a way that I don't care about Thunder Rosa in the fact that like we need a champion that can exist on her own and doesn't need a lot of additional kind of fluff or guidance or whatever. Like Toni Storm walks out with the title, I'm immediately like locked in and ready to go. What's happening?
The thing is, the AEW audience likes people who fight, who have matches. And something happens when you become champion, you fight less.
Yeah.
You know, and so like there's no longer like, oh, whenever you see Hangman Page, he's about to kick someone's ass or drink a beer. It's now he's coming out and he's gonna talk, about his feelings and stuff. And then, like, Thunder Rosa is gonna have to talk and she can't. Jungle Boy's gonna have to talk and he shouldn't.
We have different feelings about the Hangman title run, but
it was the worst title run in AEW history.
Well, sure, but the other three title runs were perfect. So, well, Kenny's wasn't completely perfect, but Moxley's and Jericho's were both perfect. But that being said, back to Thunder Rosa. The other issue is that, and I saw somebody said this. I think it might have even been Renee Paquette. That she even said, like, you need to start pushing other women other than Britt Baker. Like, just because if you count the minutes, I haven't done this, but I challenge someone out there to do it. If you count the minutes of TV time since Thunder Rosa won the title of Britt Baker's TV time versus Thunder Rosa's TV time, I bet Britt Baker takes the cake.
Oh, easily.
She's not your champion anymore.
Because every one of her segments are 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes.
It felt so important to me that she got this clean pin over Britt Baker tonight. It kind of feels like hopefully Tony Khan's waking up and he's realizing, like, I signed Tony Storm. I've signed Athena. I've got these other women that I'm starting to really kind of like are getting more and more popular.
Willow.
Ruby Soho, Statlander. I can't wait to talk more about Willow Nightingale. I love Willow Nightingale. I think she's fantastic. I need to start doing more than just have Britt around constantly. She won the Owen Hart Cup. I love that she didn't come out with the title. I love that Adam Cole didn't come out with the title. I hope they're in a trophy case in their house.
And they come back next year.
Yeah, exactly. And then they pass it off to the winner of next year's tournament. But that's all. I just think it's time, and hopefully Tony Storm represents that, and Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa have a really good match. They're fighting for the title at Forbidden Door, which I think is pretty interesting. We'll see what that's all about. It doesn't really make a ton of sense to me, but
I would prefer that have been for Forbidden Door, a show that's co-promoted, and they just have one crossover match.
Sure.
I think that would have been best.
I think they should do, honestly, because NJPW owns the biggest women's promotion in Japan as well, Stardom. There should be an AEW Stardom crossover as well. You got to throw
I'd love that.
To the women at some point, because Stardom is awesome. The wrestlers are awesome in Stardom.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, because that's why it's a weird match, because they need to put women on the card, and they're just like, and NJPW doesn't. It have to be a crossover with Stardom.
Has said that they don't want to use Stardom, but like also Tony Storm came from Stardom. Britt Baker wrestled in Stardom. A lot of people wrestled in Stardom. So like, let's go.
We have a lot of comments here we have to get through. Joe writes, "Oh, and Triple H, that man is a legend." About you two agreeing and disagreeing.
I like Triple H. Don't get me wrong. He's on the board right now investigating Vince.
Oh man. We have to do a deep dive on the whole drama because it's getting very exciting. Well, we can't talk about it now.
Involving John Laurinaitis as well.
John Laurinaitis. Mo says, "Hey ladies, we might have some real stories developing with Stat as new TBS and challenges for champ. With Stat as new TBS and challenges for champ. Yeah. I'm excited for that." Brooklyn Bleak says, "Yeah, it looks like it actually hurt Britt from the hip attack. She knocked Tony's hand away and grabbed her head. Tony wrestling like she cares about wrestling again and having fun."
Totally.
It's nice. Mose writes, "Yes, Bleak." And I'm going to say that as well. Joe writes, "Isn't that the case for a lot of babyface champs? The pursuit is better than defending." And yes, Khan lets his love of wrestling override booking sometimes. But yeah, I think the pursuit, it depends on the champ. The Rock is a better champ than he is chasing it. Stone Cold is better chasing it than he is the champ.
You think so?
Actually, no. Stone Cold is a good.
Stone Cold's
both.
a good champion.
He's good both.
Yeah,
he's good both. But
John Cena.
I
don't remember a time where he was ever chasing a title.
He's a good champ. Yeah, that's why they kept him on him so much. But then when people like Foley, much better to chase. That's the dream. That's the dream for him.
The underdog.
Yeah, because once he has the title, just like, when's he going to lose it?
And that's why Moxley is also a good champion, because Moxley was never an underdog.
Yeah, I think it should have. Yeah, exactly. I think, it's just interesting. But we have more things here. Sorry, I meant his love of certain wrestlers. Yes, that's what he meant instead of booking. Sure. Mose writes, Tony Khan seems to have reversed on the Ruby push, maybe. I don't know. Well, she did just fucking lose her fucking like soul in a match with Britt Baker. And she's just like, I have to win this one. She disgraced me and I'll never show my face again.
Well, maybe she'll turn heel, have a decent heel run against Tony Storm. Like, who knows? And also, where's Deeb? Deeb hasn't been around since the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's actually very unfortunate.
There's got to be an all-women's show at some point. There's a lot of talented women's wrestlers in this company, and there needs to be a women's show.
No, I don't. I think
just a one-off show, a one-off pay-per-view.
Sure, but I just like have it 50-50. Brooklyn Bleak says Paige's run was what? I can't. I felt my blood pressure spike from that comment. Lol. It was the worst AEW champion in history. Is that
who
what
said
you're
that?
upset about? Brooklyn Bleak.
Joe Paige's writes, run was good. You just
dude. We're gonna look back on it and we're gonna think of it.
Never called me dude before. That's how we know this is serious.
Dude, it's just just saying is all. Joe writes, doesn't Jade have more TV time than Rosa? Probably.
Yeah, for sure. Jade too. Sure. Jade also doesn't defend her title anymore.
Bleak says, I bet Xia Li would love to have as much TV time as Thunder Rosa's title run, though. Lol. Is Xia Li champ?
Is Xia Li champion?
I didn't know that. Interesting. Let us know, Bleak. Mose writes, Thunder Rosa is very close to rolling heel. Willow needs way more TV minutes. Well, she just got there. Willow's being introduced, so we haven't really...
and she's like kind of. Well, we'll talk about it in a second, but yeah.
Brooklyn Bleak says, "Oh, I almost forgot. Did you see the Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb tag match on Dark? Deeb's on Dark?
Deeb and Mercedes are a tag team? That kind of rules.
That kind of rules, but why is Deeb on Dark?
Hey, everybody can go back and forth, you know."
Mo says, this ROH TV needs to be concrete. Too much talent. Yeah, true.
Agreed.
Brooklyn Bleak says, John Laurinaitis using the Always Sunny Mac system, waiting to swoop in on Vince's leftovers. Oh boy, Vince. SMH. So much hate, right? That's what it means.
That's so funny. It's so fun. Well, whatever. We'll talk about it later. But like, I mean, everything about that situation is terrible. But the fact that Vince was like 73 and just like macking it, crazy.
Oh,
remember when he used to call himself the genetic jackhammer?
The genetic jackhammer. Yeah. He's got the balls the size of grapefruit. We got to keep going. Right. This is
shit. Yeah.
This is getting ridiculous. We get the Rosa stare down afterwards. Then Tony's in the back with Stokely Hathaway. And she's open. Loves Stokely. Stokely's been such a breath of fresh air.
So funny.
And he's going to have an open challenge for Jade's TBS championship. And he's going to be on commentary, so he's getting 2 paychecks that day.
I love that. Stoke.
And Willow Nightingale comes out and accepts the challenge. Good for her.
Fantastic. I love Willow Nightingale.
Good way to introduce her.
Yeah, I think she's great. And I think she's also going to Tokyo Joshi Pro soon, which is where Shida is from, among others. So she's going to get some experience there, too.
This is a cool way to introduce someone, but I would much rather a vet hold the title for these open challenges than Jade, because it has the possibility of being a bad match and having Willow your first match be a bad one. Kind of rough.
She's wrestled on Rampage before.
I'm not suggesting Willow was not good. I know.
No, I'm saying she has wrestled on Rampage before. I just don't remember who she wrestled.
I think it was right around the Ring of Honor time frame when they first bought it. Joe writes, women are on Dark because Khan has to sleep sometime and they sneak in. Come on now. He doesn't. Joe is he's talking about how Tony Khan doesn't book women. It's true though.
Well, that is true.
Joe writes, I'm sure Vince has been macking for decades. Do you think his unbiased real documentary is going to cover all of that?
Well, there's actually some dark allegations against him that we'll talk about on Saturday.
Dark?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to. Well, we'll talk about it on Saturday. Check us out Saturday.
Allegations from.
I did not know that.
I didn't know it either, but apparently.
Well, yikes! Hangman comes out.
Yeah.
And he looks great without that belt. He's on fire. It really does. He comes out with like a verve, a sense of life in him. He's shaking his fist. He's coming out ready to fight, and it's great. But then he starts talking, and I get spaced out there. He's talking about Okada, and Okada lost the title, and life is funny sometimes. And it's just this weird Wonder Years moment, and it was weird. Then Cole comes out. He calls him stupid, and he wants the challenge for the title. Because Okada doesn't have the title, so they're all trying to fight for the title. Then Jay White comes out, attacks Hangman does the Blade Runner, and he's just like, it's not going to be Paige for the title. It's not going to be you, Cole. I'm the champ, and I get to decide the rules because I'm Jay Cutter. What's his name? Jay White.
The Switchblade.
I'm Jay White. I'm the Switchblade. Hear me switch. There he said that. So yeah, he's doing stuff. You excited for whatever the hell he's doing?
Look. Look. My biggest takeaway from this whole segment is
regardless.
Irregardless of who's champion.
I don't know if that's real. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever. Whoever Jay White is going to fight, whether it's Hangman, whether it's whoever. And this could be out of their control. It could 100% be out of their control. But they're fucking up. They are fucking up. If Adam Cole was like, Okada's not even going to be on the show, they are fucking up if they don't put Okada on the show.
It's fucking up to say that Okada's not going to be on the show. Don't you want people to think that he might be on the show? Okada, just saying he's not is
the Roman Reigns of New Japan right now.
Yeah.
He's huge. He's gigantic. And he's an incredible performer, a great wrestler. And they're fucking up if they don't put him on this show. When he dropped the title to Jay White, two things went through my head. One was like, well, this guy probably just doesn't want to go to America. So I guess that's that. Or two, Kenny's coming back, and it's Okada versus Kenny. Not gonna happen.
I have been thinking that Kenny Omega saying that things are taking longer with rehab is a red herring. Yeah. That he's just saying that to kind of get us off the scent, and that he's going to appear at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes. So
I
much
can't
sense
imagine
so.
him not being on the show in some capacity.
Yeah, I can't imagine him or Okada both not being on the show in some capacity. It's weird,
but especially him
bizarre.
Because Okada's the deal's up in the air. Like, isn't he? Not really like on friendly terms with NJPW.
Okada?
Yeah.
Okada's
isn't
their
like
guy.
Shaky? Isn't it Shaky?
He's their guy, I thought. Ibushi. You're thinking of Ibushi.
I know nothing about NJPW.
Kota Ibushi, who is one half of the Golden Lovers with Kenny Omega.
Oh, I remember him. Joe writes, as much as I hate Linda and her politics, I do feel bad for her. Same.
I don't.
I feel bad for people that are hurt.
She knows she signed up for. And she also is responsible for January.
And honestly,
6th,
she's probably
She is.
Is she directly responsible?
Her super PACs, her political party gimmick that she's got.
Dog, you had me at super PACs. I'm on board.
It literally funded that whole thing that Trump did. It funded the whole thing.
You know what I think of Linda? Where is it? Vamp.
I'm just saying, a good Okada story. Red, have I ever told you a story about Okada? So Okada and the Bucks became really close. They became good friends in TNA when Okada was doing an excursion in TNA and being horribly used. So Okada and Bucks became good friends, and Okada would play this game with the Young Bucks where they would all go out to eat or something. And then Okada would distract the Young Bucks, and he would sneak into their locker room, and he would put on their gear that didn't fit him at all. And he would wait for them, and then they'd come into the room, and he would do the Young Bucks pose in their gear that doesn't fit him, and he would do these little poses. And no one thought it was funnier than Okada. Okada thought.
I think that's hysterical. Yeah, I think that's really the funniest thing.
It's like
that's
a harmless workplace prank.
Yeah, it's just like liking every one of someone's Instagram photos. It's a harmless prank. We have to get to the main event, Roy.
Yeah, we do.
We have to talk about the main event because a lot has happened this week that we're going to cover on the Weekly Wrestle, but we'll give you the cliff notes. Jeff Hardy has been arrested for a DUI. Did you watch the dashboard cam footage?
No, I know. Thanks.
It's sad.
They pulled guns on him. I heard that everybody pulled their guns on him.
Oh, I didn't hear that. He was very friendly. Oh no, I think
they approached the car.
Were very maybe, but they were very chill, and he was very chill. He's just like, no, he didn't say anything. I didn't hear anything. But you see him trying to put his feet together, and he's just like, and it's hard to watch. And so he's arrested. He was taken off the show, rightly so. And they were going to win the championships tonight.
I know.
They were going to win the championships tonight.
Almost would have stopped watching AEW forever. Because if they won, I was going to be very, very, very angry about it.
They'd win for a week. They'd drop them within the month. It's just to say they did it and to finish it. But now that opportunity, honestly, may have sailed forever. I don't think if Jeff Hardy comes back, people aren't going to accept him the same way. They're not going to trust him. And I understand he's a problem. It's obviously a problem, and I feel bad for him, but damn, it's...
The other thing, too, and I don't know if you read this, but, he was also openly intoxicated not all throughout, but, multiple times in public at All Out Weekend as well. and people were not complaining, but they were bringing it to people's attentions. Maybe not even just Tony Khan, other people as well. And they were saying, like, you're going to go with these guys. You can't go with these guys. Like, seems a little unreliable, seems a little shaky. And I agree with that. I completely agree with that. One, and two, you shouldn't, like, this isn't anything else that's ever happened before. Like, your company is special. Your company is unique. Don't do the same bullshit. Like, putting the title on Punk is one thing because he's earned it. He's worked his ass off. He's had great matches with guys in your company, young guys. He's put them over in his own way, and that's great. Give him the belt. But these fucking guys, they haven't had a good match since they got into the company, and this is a work rate company. It's boring and it's uninspired booking to put the titles back on the Young Bucks, but at least the Young Bucks can go and can have great matches with everyone, and when it comes time for them to drop the belts, they're going to make whoever they drop the belts to look awesome.
Well, it's true. It's true. And spoiler alert, the Young Bucks win this. Basically, let's talk about the match as much as we can because it's just two tag teams in this one.
Yeah.
So by the way, Jungle Boy is so talented.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jungle Boy is so talented. It's such a shame. And Jungle Boy and Nick Jackson have great chemistry.
Absolutely.
Great chemistry. Absolutely. I would love to see some singles matches with them, or then have a little feud. Very
Nick Jackson,
innovative.
Massively underrated in the sense that no one ever talks about how good he is because he's just in a tag team, but he's incredible.
Yeah, he's really special. They kept trying to get up the ladder in the beginning, so it felt good. There was like definitely sense of urgency with the match. We get a Hurricane Rana through a table. We get Jungle Boy giving Nick a Hurricane Rana through the table, and then they try to do the same thing to Matt, and Matt power bombs Jungle Boy through the table. They set during the commercial break. They set up several tables. At one point, all four of them on the ladders. But then they take Luchasaurus and they power bomb him through on top of the ladder, and then he climbs up again, and then they knock him off onto the floor. And that's the end of the match. Nick Jackson has a bloody nose.
And that's it.
That's it. They grab the belts. But after the match, what do you have a problem?
Well, it's just there's other stuff that happened in that match.
Yeah, but one of the things is it really got a little it started off really good because I was like really into it, like telling good story. I'm trying to get up there, but then it just became like, all right, we're going to this side of the ring now, and all right, we have to get back to this side of the ring, and it just felt.
I'm gonna go back. We should go back. You and I should go back on a podcast and watch TLC, watch the ladder match from WrestleMania 2000, then watch TLC 1 and TLC 2 and see if there's any story in those matches.
WrestleMania 16, the 2000, that wasn't great. But the next two were amazing.
I think all three are good.
No, the first one's fine,
good matches.
But it's just like it felt like a very planned match, and like that's the issue. But like the others, they had like because you could do that with that many people in the ring, you could warrant that type of like, oh, they're over there. Well, I'm going to do this over here because I can't climb because they'll just run back. So there's a lot more action like spread out. Here, it's just like you're focusing on two people. Yeah. It doesn't make sense for you to set up all these things when both are lying on the ground dead. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. 6 versus 4, very different. Very different.
But afterwards is when the real magic happened.
Yeah.
Because we finally get it. Christian comes to the ring and he's checking on Luchasaurus, and boy, what a fuckhead Luchasaurus is. I'm disappointed with him, but I'm gonna go check on my boy Jungle Boy. He was really in pain. He goes over, he helps Jungle Boy up, and like it's just written all over his face that he's gonna turn right now.
Yeah.
Like we're 3 minutes over, and you're going to show Christian helping Jungle Boy? No, there's something going on. And then he just grabs him. I'm prettier. Then he does the concerto, and he's vicious, and he's angry.
He did a little edge there, too. You see that? Where he kind of like leaned on him a little bit? Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
I love it.
I'm so excited. I got really, even though I knew it was coming and knew it was coming for a long time, I'm very excited. I was still very excited in the moment because Christian's been riding the pine for too long. He's been sitting on the bench for too long. Time to get up off that bench, and it's time to start cutting some promos.
Move on the bunches of benches.
Vicious heel. Start fucking people up. Like, it's time. Let's do it.
Dude could go, and he's valuable. Let's use him.
And because if he's been sitting on that bench, he's fresh.
Oh, he's fresh as a daisy.
Let's go.
He's so over that almost career-ending injury that he had a few years ago.
Which one?
He was retired for 10 years.
Oh, I thought you meant in AEW.
Oh, no, not in AEW.
Yeah,
I'm just referencing something too a long time ago. We have to talk about other things because Brooklyn Bleak says, oh no, Zaya had like 3 or 4 matches on SmackDown since her debut. She was a face, then got squashed recently in seconds. That person who doesn't know if she's heel or face, whatever. That's fair.
Hey,
that's what you meant.
Brooklyn Bleak, I hear SmackDown's pretty good lately. What do you think?
Yeah, let us know, Brooklyn Bleak. I don't know. I think that funny lifeline was about Okada having a kid and wouldn't be showing up the pay-per-view, I guess. I don't know.
He had a kid? Okay, all right.
Yeah, but I understand like a funny life.
Oh, I get it, right? Funny how life works because he also missed a big show because he had a kid.
Yeah,
that's sweet. That's nice.
Yeah, he probably regrets. He's just like, man, if I just didn't win that championship then,
that.
I would have had such a cool thing happen.
No, I think he's okay. He had
Joe
a
writes,
title run.
Let history tell you that.
I will.
There's not going to be a best of Hangman's first title run ever.
There should be because he had great matches with everybody.
It's just not a good story. It's just no story.
Yeah, but like a best of is more like matches than.
I'm Lance Archer. I want a Texas Death Match. You got it, brother. Let's go. That's one feud. Let's go.
What about
CM Punk? I hate you. I'm going to destroy you. Okay.
Well,
okay.
His whole title run was cursed because his first opponent wasn't supposed to be Danielson. It was supposed to be Moxley. Moxley went to rehab. Then Danielson, it had to be against Danielson, and he had 2 incredible matches against Daniel. We don't have to talk about this right now. Okay, keep going.
Brooklyn Bleak. No, we got that. Joe writes, sadly, WWE was right about something. Hardy needed to be let go when they did.
Do not give WWE credit for that, Joe. They tried to retain him. They offered him everything they possibly could to keep him.
But because they want him a part of their IP. You know, they want to keep all that. But the thing is, like, I think they did the right thing, probably, like saying, hey, get a drug test. Because honestly, they probably knew something too. And I'm not saying that
acting erratically.
But like, yeah, he's just acting erratically. You know, like
now
you can't.
We don't know. I thought it was a good prank on Jeff Hardy's part.
I thought it was pretty cool too, but man, I don't know. Joe writes, Hardy's been accepted many times over. Sadly, he will again. Unless he legitimately gets help, it's going to happen again. Yeah, I hope he gets help. I really do. And I hope that, but it's honestly like, I have a lot of patience for people with addiction.
Sure.
I have a lot of patience with people, but I do not have a lot of patience for people who put others in danger.
Right.
You know, the thing is, like, if you can't stop drinking, I understand, like, that's a problem. But if you can't stop drinking and driving, like, that's
a little bit different.
That's like, you know,
and
like,
I don't like people are putting heat on Matt Hardy. I put no heat on Matt Hardy.
No,
he's doing everything he can, but he's not a babysitter. That's his brother.
He can't.
And he's going to do everything he can to help his brother. But he's got his wife, he's got his kids, like he's got his own life. Jeff Hardy's he's a big boy. He can make his own decisions, no matter how poor they are.
Yeah. Brooklyn Bleak says Jeff couldn't hold it together for a couple weeks. But 3 officers did pull out guns on him when they pulled him over. And there's video of him drinking while performing music before he drove. Oh, that's not good. Mo says Matt relinked his career to Jeff, and I think it is done for a while. Young Bucks was the best they could do for now. Those tables were explosive. Balsa. So strange. Yeah, they did explode on impact. And that was a great fall by Luchasaurus.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes,
it's the best thing Luchasaurus has done in a while.
You know, in this whole situation, this tag title situation, you know who's probably the angriest?
Luchasaurus?
FTR.
Oh yeah, sure.
They've been number 1 contenders for like 3 months. They beat the Young Bucks, and yet somehow the Young Bucks are in that ladder match. Yeah. If I'm FTR, I'm like, why aren't you just putting the titles on us? Like, I don't understand why this is happening. So,
that's very stupid.
And then you took away, like, let's say they do beat the Young Bucks. Well, you took away their big moment because they already beat the Young Bucks. So, like, you know, I don't know. It sucks.
Joe writes, Christian, you're finally on your own. Great music. Great music and entrance. Joe writes, perfect summarization of Paige's run, Red. Perfect summarization of Paige's run. Yeah, I agree. That was good. Him versus, that's exactly Lance Archer's match. Brooklyn Bleak, Roy, God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
I don't know what that was about.
Thank you.
Joe writes, Matt is the epitome of a good brother, always looking after Jeff. Yeah, sure. He's a good brother. He's a good brother. But boy, wow, what a day we had.
Yeah,
what a night of wrestling.
What a show. We're just getting started. We're just getting warmed up.
Oh, we got a whole night of LLW compulsion.
We got a full pay-per-view card. We got 10 matches, buddy.
Dog, we got 10 matches. Check it out. It's the end of the second round. We're finishing the second round today. that much closer to the LLW Championship, which will be unveiled maybe at the start of round 3.
That's true. That's a good point. We got to find out what they're fighting for.
We have to find out what they're fighting for.
We're also probably gonna have a little conversation, a little off-the-record conversation about Vin Man.
Oh, you're going to be talking a lot about
and Jeff and all the controversy surrounding, and a lot of shit talking to John Laurinaitis. Yeah. I love shit talking John Laurinaitis.
Johnny Ace, the second ace in wrestling. So make sure to check us out on Twitch the next, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes. It's 10:20 Eastern Central Time right now, so probably around 10:30, 8:30 your time.
Yeah, let's go in 10 minutes. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a great one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, the go home screen also has all the Twitch information. Just
the go home screen have the Twitch information in case you need. Bye.
Ole.